Hey millionaire! Lotto jackpots look like they're getting bigger and bigger. As this video goes out, we're waiting to hear who snapped up the gigantic 1.3 billion Mega Millions jackpot. But what if that winner was you? What would you do with all that money? Most of us never expect to see $1 billion in our lifetime. But don't worry, I'm here to help. This video will show you the craziest things you can buy with $1 billion jackpot. So if you're lucky enough to be a winner of this insane jackpot, you'll know exactly how to blow all that cash. But this isn't your average list of billionaire purchases. We all know about the expensive cars and super yachts. This list is for people with more unique tastes. Hopefully, you'll be online shopping with your $1 billion check very soon. Good luck. A trip to space. Just a few decades ago, it would be impossible for any of us to go to space, unless if we became actual astronauts, obviously. But these days, you don't need training from NASA to take a trip to the stars. All you need is a load of cash. $1 billion is much more than you need to get to space these days. With a $1 billion lottery win, you can buy a trip to outer space for you and about 3,000 of your closest friends. In 2021, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin auctioned off a ticket to space for a whopping $28 million. But you won't even need to fork out that much cash. Branson is a little kinder to his customers' wallets, charging only $450,000. 1,000 people will be able to take a trip with Virgin Galactic sometime in the second half of 2022. So it's the perfect time to win a huge lottery jackpot if you want to go to space. Forget season tickets, buy the team. You heard that right. Real rich people can afford to buy their favorite sports team. That means you can get super close to the game without all the training it takes to actually play. But be warned, the Dallas Cowboys, New York Yankees, and the New York Knicks all cost over $5 billion, with Real Madrid and Los Angeles Lakers not far behind. So you might need to aim for your fourth favorite team. The world's most expensive toilet paper. We've all heard of gold toilets, but you don't have to stop there. An Australian company that goes by the name Toilet Paper Man sells the world's most expensive toilet paper, and the price tag will surprise even the richest people. One roll sells for a mind-blowing $1.2 million. How can it possibly be that expensive? Well, it contains 24-karat gold. As you see it, the flakes are designed to fall out of the paper onto the floor. They also stick to your butt, so you'll sparkle when you bend over. Plus, it's 3-ply, which we all know is the height of sophistication. If you're lucky enough to have this kind of money that allows you to purchase a gold toilet paper roll, they'll hand deliver it to your home with a complimentary bottle of champagne. Would you buy gold toilet paper if you won $1 billion jackpot? Tell us in the comments, and keep watching for more crazy expensive things. A stay in the world's most expensive hotel suite. Ever wanted to stay in a luxury hotel? If you win $1 billion jackpot, you can take your pick of the best in the world. But if you want to let everyone know how much cash you have, you need to book your stay at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. That hotel is home to the world's most expensive hotel suite. It's called the Empathy Suite and can be rented for an eye-watering $100,000 per night. This 2-story suite, designed by British artist Damien Hirst, might not be everyone's idea of luxury. After all, it is decorated with dead sharks and medical waste. But at least everyone will know that you have enough cash to afford it. The White House. So maybe hotels aren't your thing, but how do you show off all your cash? Well, you can buy an average, boring mansion, or you could buy the White House. You won't be surprised to hear that it's not technically up for sale, but you could afford it. Its estimated value is about $398 million. Who knows, maybe with all your new rich friends, you'll be able to pull some strings until they hand over the lease to you. A presidency. There's another way to get into the White House if they're still refusing to sell. You'll be rich enough to buy yourself a term as President of the United States of America. Well, you can buy a presidential campaign anyway. They're surprisingly pricey. Biden became the first presidential candidate in history to raise $1 billion for his presidential campaign, but the 2020 elections were the most expensive in history. 2016 was a little cheaper, with Trump spending just $322 million versus the $950 million he spent on his re-election campaign in 2020. Who knows how much the next election campaigns will cost, but we'll bet you'll have a good run with your jackpot winnings. What's the first activity you'd choose to do if you won the $1 billion jackpot? Is it running for president? Tell us in the comments, and keep watching. There's loads more stuff to buy with that kind of fortune. A fighter jet. We all know billionaires love their planes, but buying a private jet is so cliche. If you want to surprise your friends with a unique form of travel, you should be looking at a fighter jet. I recommend the Lockheed Martin F-35B jets used by the U.S. Marines. They cost about $122.8 million, making them much more expensive than the older models. But the bigger price tag comes with one super cool feature. They can take off and land vertically. I know, you didn't know you wanted that feature, but now you can't live without it. Plus, it means you won't need to waste space on your private island by building a runway. It doesn't matter how much your rich friends spend on their private jets, you can bet they'll still be jealous of your unique purchase. Booze, but make it flashy. What's the first thing you do when you win the lottery? You have a party. But this isn't just any party. It's your I'm a billionaire party. So you can't serve up your usual $20 booze. Don't worry, we have some more appropriately flashy options for you. You can't have a party without tequila shots, so get your hands on a bottle of Pasión Azteca. It's made by Tequila Ley and comes in a glitzy bottle covered in 6,400 diamonds. This kind of glam comes with a $3.5 million price tag. If your friends prefer a seltzer, you'll need a bottle of Diva vodka. Made in Scotland, this vodka comes in another eye-catching bottle filled with 48 cut crystals. It's gorgeous and will cost you another $1 million. Of course, you can't talk about expensive booze without talking about whiskey. The most expensive whiskey ever sold was a bottle of Macallan 1926, 60-year-old, which was first distilled in 1926. This bottle was hand-painted by celebrated Irish artist Michael Dillon, and it's the only one in existence, which probably explains why it sold for a huge $2.3 million. We don't think it's been opened yet, so there's still a chance you can get your hands on it for the right price. And don't forget your mom. She'll probably be hoping for a glass of limoncello to remind her of her holidays in Italy when she was young. If that's what she wants, then the Diamalfi Limoncello Supreme is the way to go. The bottle features 3 13-karat diamonds and one giant 18.5-karat diamond. But even if you took those away, this would still be the most expensive spirit in the world. It was commissioned by a private client, but 2 bottles were made, meaning there's one left up for grabs. You can add an unbelievable $44 million to your bill for this one. A floating bed. By now, you've probably bought a couple luxury houses with your $1 billion. You're gonna need some crazy expensive furniture to go inside it. Well, we've got you covered. I suggest starting with a floating bed from the future. Alright, so it's not really from the future. This bed, designed by architect Yanya Brajanars, actually hovers thanks to advanced magnetic technology. It looks super sleek, but it comes at a price of $1.6 million. And yeah, that does make it the most expensive bed in the world. If you have $1 billion, it might be worth buying, just to find out if it's more fun getting naughty while floating. And finally, the craziest expensive thing you can afford if you're lucky enough to win $1 billion. This feather. I know what you're thinking. I can pick up feathers for free. That's true. It's also true that you can buy much prettier feathers for less than $1 if feather collecting happens to be your weird hobby. So why would anyone ever pay a whopping $10,000 for this mangy old one? Before you ask, this is literally what it's sold for. But it got that price tag because it's old. It actually belongs to an extinct species of bird called the huia. Do you think it's worth handing over 10 G's for it? I don't. But if there's one way to prove you have crazy amounts of cash, it's buying an old feather for several $1,000s.